Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Anthony Tartnasis coming to you. I'm on the road again. I'm traveling north, bound west, northwest, and maybe think about Kanye and Kim's children. And by the way, where is Kanye nowadays? I think I saw something about him like doing a new album somewhere in Wyoming or somewhere like that, somewhere far out or whatever. Wyoming. But yeah, so anyways, I'm northwest traveling, and I stopped and had a conversation with a whole lot of folks about the impact of homelessness and addiction and what it does to people, and how they use that to leverage their leadership to be more successful. So after being in the location, you like the way I said that, being in the location for several hours, I'm finally back on the road again, and traffic seems to be jamming up as I speak, because there's only 2 lanes, and you can't push people out of the way. You gotta wait to the car or vehicle in front of you to move out the way. Anyhow, I wanted to share lessons in language which I learned from an entrepreneur today named Jeremy, and I'll post it. You can go to my podcast, The Noun Times Mogul. If you search it on Anchor, you can go to my Twitter page, The Noun Times Mogul, and you can click on the link there, and you can listen to some of the podcasting that I have been sharing as both Anthony the professional and Anthony the artist, known as Tartnasis. And it's been interesting doing this doc series and sound series over the last couple of years, as I travel around the country and stop in small towns, stop in cities, and recognize that most people are more alike than they are different. When I ran for office, my campaign slogan was that our differences make us, they ought not separate us. The only thing that separates us biologically, or not biologically, that could be sex biologically, but genetically, our genetic code or our genetic makeup is only about 3%, which is our phenotypical expression of our genes. That 3%, mind you, is what we are all fighting for turf over, to understand your difference from my difference. That 3% or margin of error percentage is what all class wars have been about. So as I travel and connect with people on a human level, I recognize that 3% dissolves down to like 2% or 1.5%. The other work you have to do yourself. And so, yeah, but I've had some interesting conversations. I've been analyzed, interestingly enough. And what I come to find out is that 90% of us are just really trying to figure it out. And there's 10% of us just know what we know. And the rest is the unknown. And that's the 3%. We don't know what we do not know. And so as I journey, keep me in your prayers and your thoughts, and for my safety and the safety of my family, who I'm sure they're concerned about my well-being, being on the road so much over the last couple of years. Today is the 4th, 5th, 6th, between those days of March 2021. And yeah, I just wanted to take a moment to share my thoughts. Because as I always say, thoughts do become things, but focused thoughts become designated declarations. What does that mean, to be a designated declaration? It means to have dead focus on something and to define and clarify and confirm and affirm that thought on a rolling basis. Essentially, it's to think about it all the time, to have it in your awareness, to have it in your conscious state of being, to touch, feel, smell, sense it as often as possible. And so, thoughts truly can become things. All thought is the basis of everything. All thought is the basis of everything. Remember that. All thought is the basis of everything. E equals mc squared, the relativity of everything. Einstein knew it. He understood it. But I do not believe he could imagine the ramifications of such a power. That's the 3%. It's when you know what you know, but what you do not know, you're willing to stretch toward. And it isn't to say that you're going to know all of it. It is to say that you're going to open it up to everything else. Thought is the basis of everything. Once he figured out the calculations with his supporters and helpers and his assistants, and the equation to the atom, he opened it up to everything and thereby everyone else. He couldn't predict that kind of ramification. Your inkling, your awareness, your ingenuity, your genius is something that is precious and pure and ought to be protected as best as one can. Because once you release it, you are giving it authority to fly and to be seen and sought. Just some thoughts as I'm on the road again. Yeah, so like, click, subscribe, share. More importantly, I'm not the biggest like, click, subscribe person. I would love for you to share the lessons in language. More importantly, you can find me on Twitter at the Noun Times Mogul. You find me here and also at the Noun Times News, where we do a broadcast as we travel around the country sharing stories about the human spirit and the impacts of the Noun Times that we find ourselves in. Remember, thoughts do become things, but focused thoughts become designated declarations. Until next time, smile a little bit and be well. I'm out. I'm on the road again.